This weekend, Godzilla turned 70 years old. So this week, I wanted to go back and revisit the 1954 classic film Godzilla and share my thoughts and how I grew up on Godzilla and why I think Godzilla from 1954 is not only my favorite in the franchise, but one of my top 100 movies of all time. Welcome to Almost Sideways. My name is Adam, and today, yes, we are talking about the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. And Godzilla has been around for a very, very long time, and his franchise of films have spawned many sequels, and some of them being really good. Some American remakes, like Godzilla from the late 90s, not being a great one, but Godzilla Minus One being an excellent one as of recent memory. I used to grow up watching Godzilla. I used to go to my public library and check out any and every copy of the Godzilla movies that they had available for me to check out there. Some of my favorites being Godzilla versus Space Godzilla and Mechagodzilla 1 and 2 be some of my favorite early childhood memories of Godzilla. Some of those films, like Son of Godzilla, well, I haven't gone back and revisited. I still really do enjoy the memories that I do have of watching those films. I find so much joy and entertainment with the Showa era Godzilla movies that I actually did go out and purchase the Criterion collection of the Showa era 1954 through 1975 here. It's a really great collection with some really great films there. While I will never admit to being a complete expert of the source material, the franchise, and in its entirety, I do find some really enjoyment going back and showing these movies to my family here. While they may not enjoy it as much as I do, I still get that nostalgic little tingle every single time I watch it. So going back and watching 1954's Godzilla, it's hard not to enjoy this one. So if it's been some time for you, let me go over the synopsis here, and I am reading it on Letterboxd real quick. Japan is thrown into a panic after several ships are sunk near Odo Island. An expedition to the island led by Dr. Koiyaman soon discovers something far more devastating than imagined, in the form of a 50-meter tall monster whom the natives call Godzilla. Now, the monster begins a rampage that threatens to destroy not only Japan, but the rest of the world as well. This film is directed amazingly by Ishiro Honda, who captures the feel of every single character he throws on the screen here. We get a lot of their stories and a lot of their kind of takes on what's happening and their fear that they're having with these ships not appearing and losing their loved ones. And eventually, when it is revealed and you do see Godzilla, and their fear of what the heck is this big giant monster, and what's his motives, and he's destroying, we have to take him down. You feel how heavy it is. The film doesn't make it just a Godzilla focused film. This one, he is clearly the villain here. He's not fighting anybody else. This is this first outing here, and it's devastating to the community and the country as a whole. And of course, it could be a world issue, not just a Japan issue, because who knows where else this big giant monster will be. I think the direction of the story really tells it well for that specific reason. It's kind of like Jaws in a way, because we don't get to see the killing a beast for a lot of the film, and I think that's what makes it so effective. When he does start attacking the different places, it feels crazy, because the way the special effects work, they're not just having some digital CGI thing, because at the time, 70 years ago, that wasn't a feasible thing, so they had somebody in a suit destroying these miniatures of the city, and it still holds up just as amazing. It feels really dang awesome seeing these buildings get ripped to shreds. I'm a big fan of Godzilla Minus One, and while those special effects were phenomenal, these special effects in 54 were just on the same standard for me. It's crazy to see that Godzilla Minus One was the first time that this movie has ever, a Godzilla franchise has ever been nominated, let alone win at the Oscars. And also, I will be amiss to saying, Godzilla Minus One is also a Pinot nominated film for Almost Sideways as well. Godzilla an awesome beast. While there's a great comparison on who's better, Godzilla or King Kong, and they do fight off in several iterations at this point now. I will always be a Godzilla fan. I even if the Americanized versions of him, like Godzilla in the late '90s, was not a really good version by any means. It's more of a guilty pleasure at this point, or a cult favorite, if you will, maybe. And while the new films from a few years back with Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Kong vs. Godzilla, and even Godzilla, Kong, New Empire, while those admittedly are not on any way, shape, or form on par with the Showa era movies by any means, there is still some enjoyment to have because it's that Godzilla IP. And I do like Godzilla. And the '54 film, while it's going to be remembered as being the start of Godzilla, I don't think it's the credit that it's due. I know that this 1954 version did get released in America, but in a really lesser quality version known as Godzilla King of Monsters in 1956. And that one basically just puts little edits of this American reporter played by Raymond Burr, Steve Martin, that's his name here, and he goes in, kind of has these different interactions and trying to report on the devastation of what's happening with Godzilla here, and it's not nearly as good. It kind of holds back the original source material, and that's where it kind of, I feel like, could be lead on where some people don't remember the original IP as such a prominent feature here. There's so many different iterations since, and spin-offs and sequels, and American versions, and Showa and Japanese versions. I primarily think the original, like, Japanese style of filmmaking of this original IP is far superior than what we're getting now in 2024 here over in America here. Godzilla 1954, it's a fantastic film. It's one that I would definitely strongly encourage everyone to check out, to experience at least one time, and realize the scope of the world that he was living in, and what that they were building there. It's a fascinating story, and just like the human story where you're trying to protect your country and your home, and the sacrifice at the end of the movie with one of the doctors there, with the oxygen killer bomb, is just it's a really sad or more sad, somber thing, and it's a great sacrifice and a great way to end that film. But when Godzilla comes back and he's actually the hero, then, because that's also pretty cool too, when he's taking on the iconic library that is his villain catalog here. It's great to see. So that's my quick thoughts, takes, and opinions of 1954's Godzilla. It's a 4-star film, top 100 movie for sure for me. But let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about Godzilla from 1954. The icon turns 70. Go support a Godzilla movie, and share all your thoughts, takes, and opinions on the comments. So till next time, my name is Adam. I'll see you in the next one.